As a matter of public perception, though, the $1 million or more price has charged taxpayers for private air travel in less than a year seems the very definition of the swampish behavior President Trump campaigned on ending. And Trump himself is well aware of it. Politico reported earlier in September that Price had been chartering private planes for travel, breaking a precedent with previous Health and Human Services heads. Among the flights was a $25,000 trip from Washington, D.C., to Philadelphia, a trip that takes 2.5 hours driving or 90 minutes viaduct Amtrak, and an $18,000 visit to Nashville that included 90 minutes of work and a lengthy lunch with his son. Price released a statement Thursday saying he would repay the Treasury for the flights, but his department later told media outlets that he would pay just the prorated cost of his own seats, around $52,000, not the whole expense of the charters, more than $400,000. He was generally accompanied by aides and security personnel who flew with him. Following his statement, Politico further reported that Price had spent an additional $500,000 of taxpayer funds using military planes while traveling with his wife in Europe and Asia. Reckless spending habits employed by Democrats in Washington are driving the debt, wrote then Representative Price in 2011. We need spending cuts. No. If you can't budget, you can't govern, wrote Price in 2010. But the Health and Human Services Secretary isn't the only member of the administration to come under fire for spending on private travel. The Washington Post reported Thursday that Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke spent $12,375 chartering a plane owned by an oil executive so he could give a motivational speech to the Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey team, the expansion franchise owned by a donor to Zinke's congressional campaigns. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has also been criticized for flights both taken and requested. Last month, Mnuchin and his wife used a government plane to travel to Kentucky, where they watched the solar eclipse at Fort Knox. A Treasury spokesperson said Mnuchin reimbursed the government for the cost of his wife's travel. ABC News reported earlier this month that Mnuchin requested the use of a $25,000 per hour government jet for a European vacation with his wife. The Washington Post reported Friday that Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin spent half of a 10-day European trip this summer sightseeing. Per the Post, the overseas jaunt took place less than 2 weeks after he signed a memo instructing top VA staffers to determine whether employee travel in their organization is essential. Shulkin's predecessor, Bob McDonald, took 0 foreign trips during his 2.5-year tenure. The VA announced Friday that the agency will begin posting details of the Secretary's travel online, including itineraries, and disclosing any use of government or private aircraft.